By adding one more heater to this plan and changing some angles, we can make a big difference in the heat coverage. Hello, I'm Steve. This is the Patio Heat channel where we create visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. This one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decision for your application. We strive to earn your business. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Now let's get heating. All right, so this is going to be a commercial application, and you can see they have this outdoor deck, I'll call it. And let's go right into the overall dimensions. All right, the overall dimensions we have approximately 2110 feet from this edge here to outside here. We have a 17.6 from here to here. And then we also have a total space or distance rather of about 29 feet from here to the outside edge over here. We do have a couple of different heights. We have approximately 8 foot here, approximately 10 foot here, and then approximately we have here 12 foot and about 12.5 feet there. I do have a slope that we're going to be describing here in a little bit. I have a slope of 1.7 to 12 inches, or sorry, 1 7/8 to 12. And I think that's about it as far as the distances are. I'll make a note here just real quickly. I don't have these two units centered within this span, so not centered within this distance here, but I do have them at approximately let's just call it 5 foot to the center from this edge over here. I have it actually at 410 you can see here, but I would probably stick it at 5 foot, and we'll talk about the coverage of the footprint of heat here in just a minute. And I think that is about it. All right, let me go ahead and turn that off, and we'll talk about the overall coverage. So in their plan that they had shown to me, they do have, as you can see, a couple of fans out here, and then also a doorway. The doorway does swing into the structure, so I'm not worried about the doorway as being a obstacle in any way. But the fans are something that we need to be concerned about, and I would imagine they are looking to have these fans out there, so we cannot eliminate those. Now, they did have the 3 heaters aligned across here. I think they showed on their plan a little bit longer of a unit. These are 6,000 watt units that I'm showing here. So in the center is a 6,000 watt unit pointed straight down to the ground. You can see that we do meet the clearances around the heater itself, so that's not an issue. And there is clearances above the unit. This is 6 inches of clearance above the unit when pointed straight down, mounted on a ceiling. And what I did over here is I've taken these 2 units on their outer edge. They had them at about 24 inches. I put 24 inches to center. And then I did mount this at an angle of approximately 20 degrees pointed towards the inside edge. Now the issue and the reason why I had that angle of the 1 7/8 to 12 inches at the slope here rather is because we do need to make sure that we're maintaining the clearance above the heater on top here, and with that slope we want to make sure that we add an additional about 2 1/8 inch distance between here. And then over here, you'll see the distance I'm adding here is 2 3/4. Now, this is going to be something that has to be corrected on the planned site itself when the installation is done. However, the reason I'm really bringing this up is because of the fact that we have this at an angle. You want to make sure that whatever you use here, you could use chains, but chains are harder to create angles with, and then once you put the electrical connection on, then all of a sudden it becomes a little bit more difficult to maintain that exact angle of the heater itself. So I would rather see something a little bit more rigid, and what I'm going to suggest is that you take the OEM bracket, which is this component right here, and then you could either get the extended bracket. They do have an extended bracket that's 6 inches longer, or you could just take the existing bracket excuse me, and then make the attachment up here. You might put a block up over, between these two joist rather, from here to here. You might put a block around there so you can attach that, and then just take another piece of stainless that is more rigid, maybe like a 1/2 by 1 inch square tubing, and make your holes, you know, match up, line them up with here and, you know, here, and make those attachment points more of a rigid style type of thing, and then put in a bolt through here and a bolt through here. So in essence, you're just taking a piece of stainless, and you are going to, let's see if I can do this quickly without taking up too much of your time, but make a piece of stainless, something similar to that, and make it a rigid connection so that it can support not only the heater itself, which is only 18 pounds, but also the angle that I'm creating here. Now the reason I'm creating the angle, and I'm just going to use this one as a example, I'm just going to move this over here, and we're going to go over here real quickly. And let's see here, give me just one more moment. So if I place this unit here and have it at no angle, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on the footprint of heat that you're going to get out of the unit, you can see that the coverage going straight down to the ground would be from here outside here. But once I remove this unit and change it so that the angle is about 20 degrees pointed towards the inside, I'm getting most of my heat on the inside of the patio and not out here. All right, so I've also done the same thing with these two units, this one here and this one here. This is a little bit shorter of a distance, and also because of the height, the overall finished height, and it's approximately, I think, 7 feet, few inches off the ground from here to the ground. I'm electing to use what they call a 4,000 watt unit, which is a lot cooler than these units up here. You can use the 6,000 watt unit over, you know, here as well. However, you're going to want to control that because, you know, the closer the heater is, the more intense it's going to be. And especially if this seating here is a little bit higher, then that's going to also be another issue. So I would probably go with the 4,000 watt unit and make that more comfortable most of the time. All right, let's see what else. So yeah, essentially these are in the center of the span here, and these are off-centered. And the reason I off-centered it because I want to add one more unit, and that one more unit would be located right here. And I'm going to turn this off, but let me go ahead and do just a couple of quick adjustments here. Let's see, go back. There we go. All right. So what I'd like to do is add one more unit to the center, and I'm going to take that off for a second just to show you. So the footprint of heat, you can see that we're missing this area with just the 3 units up there and the 2 units down here. We're missing this whole space right here, as well as if you're sitting here, you're at the very edge of the output of the heater, so you know we're missing most of that as well. But by adding just one more unit, we're able to capture a lot of that. We are still missing a couple of inches over, a couple of feet over here, as well as a couple of feet over here, but that is occupied by that post. Sorry about that. That's occupied by the post, and most likely there's not going to be any occupation right there. So I think that would be a perfect plan. Again, you want to make sure that you're maintaining that clearance here, and you can see that's why these aren't attached. Again, that space, that span that we're missing is approximately this gap of, let's see here, do we have it on there anymore? Oh yeah, there we go. The 2 and 1/8 of an inch. So the brackets that they sell, the OEM brackets they sell are 6 inches of clearance, and then they add a 2, a 4, and a 6 inch additional amount of clearance by buying this separate brackets if you're looking for that. So here you can see that I'm calling for about 6 3/4, which the manufacturer only has a 6 inch bracket. Now you can take that if you're going to put a stud across here to make a mounting point, then you can lower that stud a little bit, that 3/4 of an inch, and use the OEM 6-inch extension bracket instead. So over here you can just use the a chain, or you can use the same setup as I'm mentioning here. And I believe this angle is all the same all the way across, so it's going to be the same truth to those dimensions over here as well. But that is why I offset these units here, so we got a good footprint on the most exposed side of the patio here, and then also adding this one gets us in here as well. All right, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, please send your information into designs@patioheat.com. And again, can you please tap that like button? We're not monetized, we don't advertise. YouTube does not promote our channel unless we receive your thumbs up, and we really appreciate you doing that. Thank you and have an excellent day.